Our next guest is a really fun guy. He owns Powerful Play Experiences. He helps build positive workplace with play.
Building spirituality, family, health, and business. This is The Giant Builders with Lois Wyant.
All right, Giant Builders, we're in for a special treat today. We have Robert Manolson, in which case he is a power play expert.
A powerful play expert.
Yes. How are you, Robert?
I'm doing awesome.
Good.
Because I'm with you today.
Wow, thank you. So tell us a little bit about what you do.
You bet. Well, first I want to thank you, Lois, for inviting me to be part of Giant Builders. I don't recall how we met online.
Facebook.
There you go. You said to me, you'll have to wait. You have to wait your turn. There's a lot of people in front of you on the queue in terms of my podcast. So I said to myself, patience, because when it happens, it was meant to be that day and that time. Those who are watching or listening to this podcast need to know that Lois and I just had a 24-minute conversation about who we are and what brings us joy in life.
Well, I think you were more like analyzing me.
Is that what that was? No,
yeah, that's what it was.
I was just sending a message that you matter. The only message that you matter, Lois, you matter.
Thank you, Robert.
And what I've picked up on is you're very comfortable with your mental health. You're very much at ease with your mental health. And I say that because you'll see the words mental health on my banner behind me. And for 16 years now, can you believe that? 16 years, I've been traveling in and around Alberta, Canada, the province of Alberta, Canada, facilitating play-based workshops to for teams, workplace teams, to create happy teams, energized teams, and to really push the idea that we all need more fun at work. But back to the mental health piece, it's only in the past, I'd say 4, probably no more than 5 years, that I changed the tagline to push the message that not only fun at work is an important piece of the daily workday, but fun at work is good mental health, But during COVID, people had much deeper questions for me about mental health and the impact that COVID was happening, or the impact that COVID was taking on people's daily mental health. So the 24 minutes that we shared stories together, I have to say that there's a certain peace that you have with your mental health, and I'm very much impressed.
Well, thank you.
I'm very much impressed. I say that because I might not be that guy. Who has, peace with his mental health 24/7, more or less. I live with and I manage depression and anxiety. There's close to 4 generations of diagnosed mental illness in my family. I've only been able to go back as far as my grandparents on both sides of the family. So grandparents, my parents, myself, and my siblings, plus my niece. Many stories of diagnosed mental illness on both sides, which is very different than mental health. So when I say you seem to have a wonderful peace of mind or peace with your mental health, what do you think I'm alluding to? What do you think I'm saying here?
Well, that's a good question. Peace of mind. Contentment with where I am, maybe?
Yeah. you present yourself as somebody who knows yourself very well. And I say that because in my journey to move towards daily positive mental health, I've had to continue to take that journey of understanding or being heightenedly aware of myself, and ask a lot of questions about myself.
Okay.
And I don't always have the answers. But have faith in myself that I can figure things out. And my hope is, over the past few years, is that we can bring the positive mental health message to the world of work. But I love to do it. I love to do it through play-based workshops. I'd like to get adults to play and have fun and have good energy and feel happy and have feel connected, and then introduce the topic of mental health. So I don't want to sound like I'm a therapist or an analyst or a psychologist when I do workshops and have people feel uneasy about talking about my mental health at work, positive mental health at work, but to break the ice through play. What's your take on that? What's your first thoughts on that?
Well, I think that part of the problem with especially people today is that we sit too long at our computers. Well, yeah, at our computers, and we create damage to our body because we're not getting up and exercising or taking a walk or things like that. So I think that that's a very big concern, that we need to do that. But I think also playing relieves stress from the mind.
Yes. Go on.
Oh.
No, that was awesome. That was awesome. Play release stress from the mind. The simple act of moving our body will change the brain chemistry, right? Will change the brain chemistry. And so the simple act of moving our body and releasing stress sets a great starting point to lighten up the conversation about mental health. And so it's kind of wacky to say, well, here's Rob. Here's this guy, Rob, 16 years as a workshop facilitator, delivering play-based workshops, pushing the idea that we all need more fun at work. But he also lives with and manages depression and anxiety. and he's out there in the world of work, pushing the idea that we all need more mental health. We all need more positive mental health in the workplace, and we need both employers and employees to start the conversation about what positive mental health means to that workplace, but through play-based experiences. So sometimes I think I'm a little bit of an irony, you know, because to say, well, let's have fun with the topic of mental health seems a bit wacky, right? And then when it's delivered by somebody who's living with depression, managing depression, living with anxiety and managing anxiety, sometimes I say to myself, well, the irony of the whole thing. But I want to show people that the picture in their mind of what mental illness might look like. And maybe I'll ask you for that picture in your mind in a couple of minutes.
Okay.
I'd like to shatter people's pictures in their mind of what mental illness might look like. So let's start with you. When you have a picture in your mind of mental illness, what does it look like?
Somebody that has a difficulty facing their day, maybe getting up in the morning or just trying to create structure on how to get through the day.
Okay. And is that picture that you have because of some experience with family or friends or coworkers or?
No, just maybe just my interpretation.
Okay. So now that you have that picture, because you have that picture in your mind,
okay,
and now we spent some quality time together, have I shattered that picture? Have I shattered that picture of what mental illness looks like?
Yeah, I would say yes. I mean, if you're telling me that you have concerns with mental illness, then I would not see that. To me, you're not don't look like the kind of person that would have a hard time getting up each day and getting themselves going. So I would say yes.
Okay. What if I said I am the kind of person who is challenged to get out of bed in the morning and get up and going? What if I brought that forward to you and said, no, I am that person. I am that person. But it's not necessarily something that I need to go public with or be public about. So I appreciate what you're saying, because I want to shatter people's belief that mental illness based on their picture has one way of looking, or one way of being, right? Traditionally I think of mental illness and it looks like this, but then I see Rob and he seems like the kind of guy that can get out of bed in the morning. He's got good energy, but he's also telling me that he's living with and managing very well depression and anxiety. So maybe I need to shift what mental illness looks like, the picture, because I believe that picture could be getting in the way of starting conversations about mental illness and mental health, because there's an uneasiness around what you're seeing in your mind, that picture. And you might say to yourself, how do I start a conversation? How do I embrace the illness that this person is experiencing? How do I show sympathy or maybe empathy? How do I show I care? Is it right for me to start the conversation? Is it my place? Am I trained enough? Am I knowledgeable enough? Is it my place to say something? So by shattering the picture and saying, wow, mental illness could look like all kinds of different behaviors and actions. What's my responsibility here in starting the conversation? Maybe I need to rethink that and not hide behind what I see in front of me, but get comfortable with it. And I say that because I believe that leaders are having that challenge.
Mm-hmm.
What do you say? Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that especially after COVID, I think we're seeing more concerns with mental health. Even I think it's more prominent or more easy to visualize just because people have been under so much stress of being confined.
Okay, so it's easier to visualize. What do you mean by that?
I think that we've become aware of recognizing it.
Yes. Are we at a better place of not only recognizing it, but starting a conversation, in your opinion?
I think it would depend on the relationship with the person.
Yeah. So one of my intentions through play-based fun at work workshops is to build heightened sense of connections with the team members in their relationships and create higher levels of comfort amongst each other, mm-hmm. which can act as the foundation or a pretty good starting point to getting the conversation going. So it's pretty cool to say, yeah, let's use play. Let's get everyone to play together. Let's come in my sandbox. Bring your soul, bring your pail. Come play with me. Build a sandcastle. Oh, and then by the way, somewhere in the play workshop, we introduced the topic of mental health, not mental illness, mm-hmm. mental health. And what's the difference between the two?
Well, illness has like a negative concept to it, and health has a more positive concept to it. If you're saying that you're ill, then people think that you have a sickness in your body.
Right. So it's very intentional to have the words mental health mm-hmm. In my business name, because the workshops online or face-to-face are never about the illness, right? It's just about everybody's daily health.
Uh-huh.
I did this is years back, I did an online, sort of just a team discussion about the differences between mental health and mental illness. So I asked the team at the front end, well, how's your health today? Oh, and everybody had something to say about their health.
Mm-hmm.
But then when we went around the circle a second time and we said, how's your mental health? Well, then people were very uncomfortable as to what to say. And it flabbergasted me because I didn't think I was saying anything significantly different. The word mental health or physical health, or as you would say, health or spiritual health or family health or business health, it's just health. That's all it is, right? Here I'm asking about your brain health. How's your brain health today? Lois, how's your brain health today?
Let me see. I think it's doing well.
That was awesome. It's funny when we attach the word brain to health, brain health, instead of calling it mental health, you did something amazing. You went you touched your head and it was tangible and real. And now you can think about it and go, okay, so how is my brain health today? And you went, I'm doing fine. But if I said, what's your mental health? You know, well, what is
then
that?
I'd have to go,
That's awesome. What if I said to you, how's your mental wellness today?
That one's harder.
Okay, let's try another one. How about how's your mental well-being?
All good.
Wow.
Well, that's interesting because when you add the well-being, I kind of like start going all the way down, whereas like when you said mental, I was just thinking up here, but when you said well-being, I think about the connection between my mind and my body.
Right on. Hold on. Right on. That's a plush flower for you today.
All right.
And a boom whacker. You get totally with the plush flower. Let's try another one. What if I said to you, how's your mental health optimism today?
My mental health optimism. The optimism I find confusing.
How are you doing mentally? From an optimistic point of view?
I don't know. It's hard for me to think of optimistic point of view. I would say good. I'm more of because I'm a list person.
Okay. List person. Okay. That requires a yes.
Oh, okay. So the first thing that went in my mind when you said mental health optimism, I started thinking about, okay, how many things are checked off my list? Okay, I'm good.
Okay, and you know what? Just the simple fact that you sort of accessed your own personality type, your natural personality, and you're able to answer the question, how's your mental health optimism? And how easy you answered mental well-being and, to a degree, mental wellness, and you're awesome at brain health. It just goes to show how challenging the term mental health is, because as you said a couple of minutes ago, it tends to have us do this, right? And so I'd like, I always like to throw in other terminology that I haven't invented at all, like mental wellness or mental well-being. But I did invent mental health optimism. Health optimism. That is mine. So if there's anything that I'd like to say to your awesome followers, and I know you have thousands and thousands of followers all across this world, this planet, you can reach out to me anytime. It's powerfulplay.ca or robert@powerfulplay.ca. And if play-based workshops online or in person that promote the idea that we all need more fun at work and more play in our lives, while we swing in or the topic of positive mental health. If that sounds interesting to you, reach out to me. In fact, the website is loaded. My website is loaded with videos, Lois, because I want people to see what play looks like. And because it's play, not like anything, any picture that you may have in your mind.
I can imagine.
Pardon?
After being with you for a while, I can imagine.
And I do a lot of imagining in my play-based workshops as well. What's neat, what you just said is, you're all up the list. I might be the furthest thing from the list guy, and so I think it's really cool that we found each other and we found that sort of place of comfort, even though I'm a little more organic and I make things up as I go along. And you like the data and the information in advance and like to have a plan. And I can often say, well, just throw the plan out the window. We'll figure it out as we go along. So what do you think?
That's great.
Yeah.
I think that's wonderful. I can see where you could bring a lot of awareness to a business. And
do you see how easy we made the discussion, like how easy the discussion was today about mental health?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And what's your takeaway on the subject of mental health, positive mental health, through the way that we played today? What's the takeaway for you?
I think that the takeaway is no matter where your mental health is, that there's always somebody there who can help you laugh through it and bring it out and bring a sense of peace inside of you.
Wow. And is that person you?
It could be.
It could be. It could be.
It could be.
Wow, I should ask you to take that and put it into a testimonial on LinkedIn.
Okay, I will.
Yeah, that was beautifully said. The other message is that you matter. We all matter, right?
Yeah.
And in the way that you described how we can introduce the topic using laughter and knowing that there are people out there who will laugh with you and create comfort around the topic is because I believe that people truly matter. Those who are living with mental health challenges truly need to have the message that they matter and know that there are folks out there like you and I who are up for the conversation and ready to, show that we care. That kind of thing. Okay.
Right.
Do you want to wrap things up? Or do I wrap things up? I don't know. What's on the list? What's next on the list?
You didn't give me a list of questions, so I don't know. That was really wonderful, Robert. I really appreciate your insight and your honesty and your playfulness. It was really great. Thank you very much.
No, well, thank you very much. You rock, Lois.
Oh, hey, so do you.
You rock.
Thanks, Giant Builders. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. This has been The Giant Builders with Lois Wyant.